ねえ今どうして僕ら生まれたのねえほらどうして僕ら出会ったのわからなくて怖いから繋いだこの手を今君に強く握り返してほしいんだ傷つける現実から逃れようとして幻みたいな存在に全てを期待した押し寄せる感情や迷わせる葛藤も抱きながら前に前に進みたいんだひび割れた丘錆びた空の下生きる僕らまるで青い花寄り添い歌方の夢を見るそれでもまだ枯れたくはないねえ今どうして僕ら生まれたのねえほらどうして僕ら出会ったのわからなくて怖いから繋いだこの手を今君に強く握り返してほしいんだ強く握り返してほしいんだ
Hey guys, this is the Fuchsia Fox.
And this is Dark Prince 231.
We are here to not really review, I wouldn't say, but talk about Final Fantasy.
I think review in a way, because I mean this is...
Yeah, starting off with Final Fantasy 1 as I'm sitting here playing Final Fantasy 3.
Yes, because we're basically going to start this out as numbers, so, you know, Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, so we're going to do that.
The only ones we're not going to do are 11 and 14.
We're not going to do that?
No, because they're both online and you have to pay to play them.
Yeah, sure, and I never play them, so...
Okay, so first of all, I say we start with the different classes that you can use in Final Fantasy 1.
Which I really think really ups the game, because frankly, back in 1987, no one's done this before. No one's thought maybe we should have a party and put different classes. That was never done before.
Nope.
So this was all new to them. And Final Fantasy saved Square Enix to this day. It's physically saved their company. So that's why they're marketing it so much, because I mean it's the game that saved them.
So I'm gonna start off saying what the starting class is and what it turns into and what is good and bad about those two.
Okay. You go first.
Starting off, we have the fighter. The fighter is really good offensively. Really high strength, high hit points, and equip almost any type of weapon and armor. The only problem is that he can't use magic. When he turns into the knight, he can use more weapons and armor, and he can then use white magic levels 1, 2, and 3. So your fighter is your good all-around type of guy. He can fight, he can defend, he can heal. You almost have to have him in your party if you want to survive the game.
Pretty much.
Do you have anything else to add on him?
The warrior?
Yep.
Well, I mean, when they, wait a second, I thought when you turn to the knight you can use, like, black or white magic.
White magic levels 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like that part, but what I don't like is that once he's dead, you're kind of screwed. Kinda screwed.
Well, unless you have a class that we're going to be talking about later on, which I won't say yet. Next is Black Belt. Black Belt has an amazing attack. He can only equip one weapon, and it actually makes him weaker. But, if you're just looking for raw power, use him. He has not the best HP, but he has probably twice or 3 times the amount of power as a fighter does. Only 2 downfalls. Can't use magic, and it doesn't have a good magic defense. And then it evolves into a master, and it gets worse. Masters are weaker than black belts. First of all, they gain no extra stats when they level up. Well, when they turn from a black belt to a master. Still can't use any magic, and his magic defense is lower than when it started. Yeah, wrap that around your brain. So, black belt / master is good only if you're looking to beat the crap out of something. Other than that, they're a waste of time. In my opinion.
And this is the monk, right?
Black belt. Pretty much the monk, yeah.
Okay. Now, as for the thief, he's pretty good at basically hitting, like, critical attacks because, he's a thief, isn't he? Huh?
Yeah, he's got high hit percentage.
Yeah, so he can basically hit, like, critical stuff. And not only that, he can steal other enemies, like potions, all that kind of stuff. He can do that, which is pretty cool.
And he has the ability to run away from battles at a slightly more successful rate than your character in the front of the party.
Yep.
And I want to turn them... stats. Nothing special in terms of anything. Can't use magic. When he turns into the ninja, he can equip every single type of weapon and armor except for like 1 or 2. He can also use level 1, 2, 3, and 4 black magic, including the fast spell, which is also known as haste. He has higher attack, and he is so fast. He will always go first, almost no matter what.
What, the thief?
Yep, the ninja.
Ninja.
The upgrade to the thief.
I gotta say, that's more believable than Ninja the frickin' Naruto.
Yeah.
But that's another story. Anyway.
My favorite class in the series. The Red Mage. Red Mage has attack power rivaling the fighter. His defense is rivaling the black belt, but his HP is still
sucky.
Is high in terms of mages, but still fairly low. He can use... Huh? He can use almost every type of weapon. He can use white and black magic up to level 5. And then when he turns into the Red Wizard, nothing real new about him. He's not much stronger, but he can use levels 1 through 7 white and black magic. So he can use everything except for level 8 black magic and white magic. Which means he's good as a fighter, he's fairly good as a defender, and he's good as a mage. So he's just your all-around, you almost need to have him in your party if you want a good chance of...
pretty much being awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, and now let's talk about the White Mage. The White Mage is very useful because she basically uses, healing spells, and also she can use, she can use like tons of white magic. It's freaking awesome. But her health is kind of huge, right? Her glow.
No, it's low. It's very low.
Yeah, well, her MP is good, right?
Normal.
But once she turns into, I forgot what she turned to.
Well, first of all, the white mage can only use up to level 6 white magic. Then when it turns into the white wizard, can learn up to level 8, therefore learning Cure 4, Life 2, Wall, Exit, Fade, and Holy.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and, forgot to mention, and 2 others that I forgot about. She can also learn Dia, which does extra damage which only damages undead foes, but it does a lot of damage. Then we have the Black Mage.
Dude, epic.
Black Mage
is awesome. You
yes.
can use tons of black magic, and also plus, when he becomes like the Black Wizard, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he becomes a Black Wizard, he can freaking use Meteor.
Okay, so basically the best magic user. But, you know how I said that white mage has bad HP?
Yeah.
It has a lot compared to the black mage.
I know, but seriously, his magic is awesome. He can freaking use, he can use, what was it, like Fire 3, maybe?
Yeah, black mage also is also a beast because he has so much MP. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
he has tons of MP, but he can just use Meteor and then boom, your enemies are dead.
Meteor is not even the best.
I think Meteor is the best. It's awesome.
There's one that's stronger than Meteor called Nuke. It's very hard to get.
I never got Nuke before.
Nope. Okay, so what do you think of the story of Final Fantasy?
Well, the story is
great for its time.
Yeah, it is. It is great for its time.
But it hasn't aged well.
No, it really hasn't. It hasn't aged a little bit. But the story is great for its time because back then, I mean, there weren't really that many, stories in NES. I mean, you're just basically playing a game. There is no story or anything like that. But the story is really great to its time. But its age hasn't aged so well.
No.
Explain the story.
It's still good and original, though, even up to now. It's original.
Yeah.
Gameplay. And we're talking about the original NES version, by the way.
We're not talking about the PSP or the remakes of all that.
When I first played the NES version of Final Fantasy, I hated it. Mostly because...
The graphics?
No, the graphics were great for its time. The battles. They were incredibly slow. And if you had 4 of your characters attacking one enemy,
yeah,
your first character killed it,
yeah,
the other 3 enemies would attack the air and not hit the other enemy.
Oh, yeah.
And they
that's the problem
fixed that in the newer ones, which I like a lot, but I hated it just for that reason.
Oh, yeah. I remember they put that in. That was... yeah, that made the game much more difficult.
Yeah. I think it's more of a programming error, though. I don't know if they knew how to get rid of that or not.
Well, I mean, this was back in 1987, so...
Yeah. 83 for Japan, I think.
Yeah, but anyway, the game, I mean, I never played the NES version, but I saw a Let's Play of it while I was trying to beat the Final Fantasy PSP version, and when I first played it, I loved it. It was addicting, it was great, the graphics were remastered, yet it had a certain charm to it that it was like playing the NES, but it was like playing the NES, but it was basically enchanted. It was basically remastered. It looked amazing. The sound, the gameplay was just phenomenal. It was really great when I first played it, and it warmed my heart. I loved it.
So now on for
the villain.
Well, there's one thing I want to add on before that. My party that I usually use. I like mages. So I use 2 red mages, a white mage, and a black mage.
Well, my party is fighter, thief, white mage, and black mage.
Okay, I'll get to that. Fighter, thief, white mage, and black mage.
Yeah.
I have a list of almost all of the different things that you can do here. Let me try and find that one first.
Why not just say like 1 or 2?
Here we go. Fighter, thief, white mage, black mage. The pros at the start of the game is that you have both types of magic, you have good physical strength, and most enemies will die almost instantly from the fighter. The cons at the start of the game is your white mages and black mages are gonna die a lot.
Yeah.
Their magic is only limited because at the beginning of the game there's not much you can use. But Thief is pretty much just used as a punching bag to protect the mages.
Yeah.
But then you can just use the white mage to heal up the Thief. Money-wise, kind of expensive because spells are expensive.
They're like 2,000 a pop.
Later on, yeah.
Yeah, they're like 2,000, 3,000 a pop. But you won't have to worry about money because since you have like tons of money, so
in the first game you don't have any money almost, and enemies don't give you crap.
No, but that's why you have to build it up more in the game.
Yeah.
You get more money, more experience. And by then, you don't have to worry about money anymore.
Your fighter you don't have to worry about at all because he just finds stuff in dungeons that you can use, and the thief you don't have to worry about either because they can't equip much anyway. The end of the game pros are that your knight, very powerful, white magic user, ninja, very fast, black magic user. You have your black wizard and your white wizard, so you're good there. The cons, I really can't think of any except that the ninja's not that physically powerful.
He's not, but he does some he does some serious awesome critical damage. In my opinion.
Yeah. Now, for the red mage, white mage, and black mage, you have, at the beginning of the game, a lot of magic. Keep the 2 red mages at the front and you will almost never have to worry about dying. Because they take the brunt of the damage and they have almost the same HP as the fighter. You can easily kill off any enemy with fire, lightning, or blizzard. The cons are that red mage's strength peaks very abruptly. It's like starting attack, let's say 5, and it's 7, and it's 20, and it's 50, and it's 50, then it's 50, then it's 50. So they're only good for a short amount of time for physical attacks. You're always gonna be poor. Always. No matter what, because you're gonna be buying a lot of spells.
Magic and,
but thankfully, red mages will absorb a lot of the hits. So you don't have to worry as much. Yeah. Like that. Money-wise, they'll be poor all the time. You want to find really good money-making areas. End-of-game pros, lots of magic. End-of-game cons, red wizards kinda suck because they don't get any more powerful. So pretty much it's just like having 4 people saying, "Hit me, I suck." But, if you have enough healing, go for it. I use it a lot because it's a really big challenge, but it's a lot of fun to play. Except for the verdict, like you said. I would give Final Fantasy 1 probably a 7 out of 10.
I thought we were on top of the villain.
Oh, derp.
Duh.
I'm gonna cut that part out.
You don't want to talk about it. We don't have to say his name or anything. We just say about how he was as a villain. You don't have to say his name or anything.
The villain is Garland, aka Chaos. Oh yeah, by the way, spoiler alert, there may be spoilers in here.
Yeah, there are gonna be spoilers. Well, I'll put that in, I'll put that in the beginning. So don't worry.
First level of the game, you fight Garland. First boss. Last boss of the game, you fight. I won't drop my phone. Garland.
Yeah.
Because Garland is Chaos.
Yeah, Garland is Chaos, but in the end, I mean, you face his Chaos form. And guess what? Chaos makes an appearance in Dissidia.
All of them do. But that's not the same Chaos. That's a different Chaos.
Oh, I thought it was the same Chaos.
No, because Garland is in it, so how can he be in two places at once?
Good point.
Garland has my favorite Final Fantasy line of... One of my favorite Final Fantasy lines of all time. I, Garland, will knock you all down. I just love that. He's good for his time, but he's kind of bland as a villain, to be honest.
He's kind of worn out, basically. I mean, back in the day, that was awesome. He's wearing all that awesome armor, but
that weighs
like
kind of
6,000
billion pounds.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, but I mean,
he is a good
wearing that armor, huh?
He's very memorable. Except most people know him as Garland rather than Chaos.
Yeah, but I mean, he's kind of worked down. His villain presence, not like Sephiroth. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to him.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, nah.
No, but he's not. To the eyes of people, he's not as memorable as Sephiroth or Casca or basically all those, characters or Sin from Final Fantasy X. No, trust me, we will get to that. Fuck you. Anyway, but as for me, Garland, I mean, yeah, he was good. He was good at the time for a villain, but for me, he's just kind of weird down a bit, just not as intimidating or threatening, in my opinion.
So the verdict. I'm gonna say 7 out of 10. It's good for its time, original,
different,
but there were things they could have fixed in there.
True. I'm gonna give a 7.5 because I played the PSP version. I never played the NES, but I've seen how it is, and that would make me mad also. But the thing is, I played the PSP. It was amazing. I loved it. The gameplay was epic. And I'm gonna splurge if I keep saying it, but I'm gonna give it that because the PSP version was awesome and I loved it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because the game is awesome. It's original, and was actually sort of like it was not really the first Final Fantasy game that I fell in love with, but it was the first thing that started the whole franchise. I mean, if this thing never succeeded the way it was, we would never get the awesome franchise as it is right now. So
no.
You always gotta start for the first and see how it is. Then work your way onto the top.
We've already reached almost the 25 mark, the 25-minute mark.
That's fine.
So I think we're gonna end off this here.
Yeah.
So next time we're gonna be talking about Final Fantasy II.
Yeah, so we're going to talk Final Fantasy 2 and see how different it is from Final Fantasy. This is Starfish51 signing off.
And this is the Future Fog saying go bark yourself.
私のそばにいたいつだっていつだっていつだってすぐ横で笑っていたなくしても取り戻す君を I will never leave you
Battle, then I'll take it to the street where there's no rules. Take off the gloves, break sit down. Gotta prove my skills, so get down. My lyrical jumps to roll, gotta smack down now. Gotta shoot to kill, and shoot to skill. Don't you be afraid, man's gotta do how it feels. 60, 70, 80, 9, 10. I flip the script to make it to the top 10. Go.
Go.